In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the MIni Fishtail Crossover Bracelet using the new Monster Tail loom. This is a design that I had come up with on the regular rainbow loom back in October of last year. And since Rainbow Loom has come out with this new Monster Tail loom, I've decided to do a tutorial showing you how to make it on this. So you will need to choose your colors. And I have the navy blue jelly bands from Rainbow Loom and then also the teal bands. And you'll need about 140 bands to make this bracelet. So I am going to start with my first color. I'll do the navy. And it's going to go on the left hand side. I'm going to stretch from the first pin. It's going to skip this middle pin and go all the way up to that next pin above. And now I'm going to take my second color, and that's going to do the same thing on the right side. So I'm going from this bottom pin, skipping the middle, and going up to the top pin. And you want to push this down a little bit on your loom, because what we're going to do next is we're going to grab the outside band from the left hand side, so it's this outer blue band, and it's going to stretch across to the center on the right hand side. The tricky thing about this is with this loom, with the pins being so small, you have to be careful as you're stretching this over that these don't come off, which is why I suggest pushing these down first. And now what we're going to do is the opposite. We're going to go on the outer band of this right hand side, and this is going to stretch across to the center pin on the left. So basically that's the pattern that we're going to follow for the whole bracelet. And then you want to push all of this down. And now we're going to add another layer doing the same thing. So on the left hand side, I'm always going to keep the colors the same. It's going to stretch all the way up to the top pin. I'm going to push that down. And now I'm going to take my second color. It's going to go on the right hand side from the first pin up to the third and push down. And now I'm always starting on the left hand side, grabbing this outer band and stretching it straight across into that center pin on the right. And now doing the same thing to the other side, I'm taking the outer band and it's going to stretch across to the left hand side in the middle. And now push this down. And I want to do that one more time. So starting on the left, stretching all the way up to that top pin, and then pushing down, taking my second color, and on the right hand side going from this bottom pin all the way up to the top, and I'm going to push this down again. And so now I'm going on the left hand side, grabbing the outer band in the center and pulling that straight across to the right, and now doing the opposite, grabbing the outer band on the right and stretching that all the way across to the left to that center pin, and then pushing it all down. And now that I have put 3 layers on, what I want to do is remove the bottom layer from all 6 of the pins. So I'm going to start on the bottom right here, just grabbing this bottom band and pulling it over the top and into the middle, and I'll just go to the next pin up. And I'll just keep working my way around, taking that bottom rubber band, flip to the other side and repeat. So I'm just taking the bottom band from all 3 of these pins. And now pushing down. And so I'm going to add my next layer. It's going to be the navy blue, and it's always going to be starting on the left. And now I'm taking the teal color and stretching that on the right. And now I want to take the outer band on the left hand side and stretch that all the way across to the center on the right. And then I'm taking that outer band on the right hand side and I'm stretching that across to the left. I'm going to push this down. And now every time I add a layer on the top, I want to remove a layer from the bottom. So I'm going to just go around to all 6 pins and grab this bottom rubber band I'm just pulling that over the top and into the middle. Just make sure as you're doing this that the upper bands don't come off of the pins. And now push this down. So I will just continue repeating that same pattern, and you can see your bracelet is going to work its way out through the bottom. It's just going to grow down. So I will fast forward here. When you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off of the loom, at this point you should have 2 rubber bands on all 6 pins. So I'm just going to take the bottom rubber band from all of the pins and pull it over the top. Do it for the other side here as well. And now there's just one single band on all of the pins. So I'll start on the bottom right here. I'm going to pick up this band and move it diagonally to the left into that center pin. And then I'm going to take the band on the top right and again move that to the middle pin on the left. And now on the left hand side I'm going to take the bottom band and move that diagonally to the right into the middle. And then again for the band on the top is going to move to the middle on the right. And now I want to take the bottom rubber band off of each of these sides. And push that down. And now I want to take the 2 bands on the left hand pin, get them both on my hook and just move them over to the right. So now they're all 4 on the same pin, and I'm going to take the bottom 2 bands and pull them over the top. So now I just have these 2 rubber bands left on this one pin. I'm going to get them on my hook and pull this out. And I'm going to take a clip. I have an S clip here. You can use whatever clip you have available. Just going to hook those 2 bands through that one side. And now on the other side, you can see that these bands are a little bit loose. So what I'm going to do is just put my hook through and then pick up some of the other bands and pull those through. I'm just going to loop the bands through one another just to make it a little bit tighter. And I'm going to take these bands that are on my hook, and again I want them to go through the other side of the clip. And then here is your bracelet. So it has a very skinny fishtail in the middle of one of the colors, and then the opposite color on the outside. And then if you flip to the other side, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to have this really skinny fishtail of the other color in the middle, and then the opposite color on the outside. So I think it's a pretty cool pattern, and I'll show you some of the other ones that I had made in the past. Here's one that I did with green and black. There's the reverse. And then here is one that had light blue and white. And then finally, here's one that I made with pink bands and then some tie-dyed bands. And that's what it looks like on the other side. So that is the MIni Fishtail Crossover Bracelet. I hope that everyone enjoyed this tutorial. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!